and you get to experience this. This is what I call the podcasting ripple effect. This is what the business we have. We've got about 500 audios out there working on our behalf on iTunes, 500 on Spreaker, Stitcher, about 350 on iHeartRadio. I would bet there's got to be thousands of places people can find our show. So imagine now, you create a quick little 15-minute, nicely produced, great intro and outro at the front and back end. You take the time, you do a nice job on it, you're proud of it. Anybody that hears it's going to be impressed. First place you put it is on your website. If you set it up properly, 5 seconds later, all the podcasting directories will update. 5 seconds after that, all your social media accounts will update. And 5 seconds after that, your newsletter can go out automatically. Google Plus, or the smartphones are updated, the tablets, the podcatchers, Wi-Fi radios, everything's updated. So, and then of course there's social media sharing buttons around all of this so people can share your episodes with their friends. And we always build into our scripts an invitation to share the show. If you've liked what you've listened to, or you know somebody who will value what we shared here today, please share it with your friends. Future's bright. So imagine this. Actually, this is interesting. Somebody asked me this the other day. He goes, how long should I podcast for? And it's an interesting question. I think maybe this is the missing link in the presentation. Because it dawned on me, it's a good question. How long should I podcast? And then I asked them, if you had 5,000 loyal audience, loyal listeners who are listening to you on a weekly basis, how long would you podcast for? Well, I would podcast forever. Of course you would. If it was the primary strategy you used to get all your content out online, and to make sure your Facebook and all your social media and all the podcasting directories and your website and your newsletter and everything was always up to date, how long would you podcast? Well, I'd always podcast. Of course. Hour a week? Why wouldn't I? So imagine you have developed an audience of 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 plus loyal listeners predisposed to buy what you have to offer. You have a killer on-time content strategy. You're receiving calls or visits to the you're receiving calls or visits with clients that saves you time. You're firmly positioned in Google. You have content working for you today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. Because if you organize your episodes correctly and you put your shows together the way I like to put them together, is you don't stale date your content, you create evergreen content, so it's going to work for you for years. Your website's always up to date, social media's up to date, your newsletter goes out to your audience automatically and on time, and you're a recognized expert because of your web radio show and podcast. Second, you become a podcaster, I can tell you this from experience. Your level of expertise automatically gets raised. People look at you a little bit differently. It's like when you've written a book. You enjoy all the speaking engagements you ever want. You are getting approached for book deals with book deals, joint venture proposals, and business opportunities. You have a reliable source for getting all the customers and clients that you want and need. And if you think it sounds a little bit maybe far-fetched, let me share what's happened with us. So this is our show, and again, for the first 7 years, it went out twice a month, 1st and 15th. Today, for the last, I guess, 5 years, 5 and a bit, 4 and a bit, it goes out every week. We've missed 8 episodes in almost 12 years, that's it. We launched a podcast in June of 2003, the Affiliate Buzz. It helped to sell 5,000 copies of my $167 ebook. Brought me my first large speaking engagement at Commission Junction University in 2004, and I think you were there too. You were there. Allowed me to establish myself as a recognized expert in affiliate marketing, outsourcing, SEO for the last decade. Sold out 2 $3,400 25-seat boot camps. Actually, it was $3,400, but most people bought it 3, the early bird. Signed a book deal with One-on-One Hosting, the largest hosting company in the world in 2006, as a result of the podcast and them getting to know who I was. They flew me actually to Germany for a week, then flew me to Valencia, Spain, to take in the America's Cup yacht race. So here I am sitting out in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea on a spectator boat watching this race. Hundreds of SEO or hundreds of instant customer calls, people phoning up saying, hey, I'm ready to do business. I've been listening for you for 3 months or 6 months or 2 years or 5 years. Spawned numerous courses Show was picked up by Webmaster Radio in 2009, really expanded our audience, speaking engagements at dozens of conferences. It fueled the whole concept of the School of Internet Marketing, which I'll share with you in a second. Recognized as number 2 in 2014, so last year, as one of the top 25 most influential people in pay-for-performance industry at number 14. And to date, we've recorded some 300, I think it's 375 now or something. So, and that's all great. But the real benefits of it is the trips, the travel, the freedom, the ability to take the kids. Arlene worked at home for the whole time they were in school, so she needed to go out and be a mom in the class. Put the dream car in the garage in 2005, which I had custom built, which is just like the most cool car you ever seen, in my opinion. Yes, that's nitrous in the back. Podcasting is in the news. Who is this again? You don't see who this is, but 6 reasons every entrepreneur needs a podcast. Entrepreneur.com, 5 reasons your small business should start a podcast today. The surprisingly profitable rise of the podcast networks. Podcasts are back and making money. So I think you'd agree there's probably an opportunity here. How many think they might like a podcast of their own?
10 times your finances, 10 times your business, 10 times your marketing, 10 times your life. Hit the subscribe button now.